Let's start.
Distinguished jury and dear participants, I'm glad to present our study, How Can Disruptive Technologies Help to Provide Customs Control of Cultural Valuables? What is a culture? Culture is what defines us as a highly developed civilization. So why do we feel so calm that every year we lose a huge amount of cultural properties? The art market is a gold mine for professional thieves. The criminal art business ranks third after the drug and arms trade. Look at the slide. Can you imagine that 80% of all exported and imported cultural properties in Russia were illegal last year? The scale of the problem is dramatic, isn't it? Let's look at the most famous masterpieces that have been stolen from museums. The first one is Vincent van Gogh, then Claude Monet, and Rembrandt. All these masterpieces are really priceless, but we lost these masterpieces despite the fact that the latest security systems were installed in the galleries. What's then to say about customs control? There are no alarms or infrared rays. The above problems identified goals and objectives of our research. We have provided a business process analysis on how to export cultural properties from Russia to Italy. Look at this chain. This control is more about the documents rather than the real control. Moreover, customs inspector is not an expert in cultural valuables and can be 100% sure that it is the original pictures. He is guided only by the documents. In my point of view, this is the biggest problem in the customs control of cultural properties. But how to ensure reliable customs control and protection of cultural property moving through the customs borders and at the same time make this process paperless and more efficient? This specific question is addressed in our study. I strongly believe that this and many other problems can be solved with disruptive technologies, specifically thanks to blockchain technology and the Internet of Things. The main advantages of these technologies presented at this slide. Using these technologies, we can create 100% trust and transparent environment for seamless information exchange and goods traceability. We analyzed several cases where these technologies were applied. All experiments were successful and will be scaled in the near future. Even more interesting and useful cases can be emphasized from the WCO study on the use of digital technologies in the customs sphere. I suggest using the blockchain technology and the Internet of Things to improve and simplify the procedure of customs control. This slide illustrates the simplified schema of customs control of cultural properties based on blockchain and IoT. Thanks to distributed ledger, it will no longer be necessary to draw up a huge amount of export papers and conduct its examination each time. I propose that every single cultural item will be equipped by the irremovable sensor connected to the internet. It will be impossible to remove the RFID tag without damaging the paintings. That's why it will be enough for customs inspector only to scan the RFID tags, and in order to get all the information about the masterpieces and to verify this authenticity. As you can see, the World Customs Organization can play a pivotal role on implementing a global distributed ledger of cultural properties. If only all customs agencies use this ledger, we could preserve the cultural heritage of our planet. There is a list of recommendations we identify in our study. I suggest to provide an experiment in the framework of the ARHEA project led by the WCO. The aim of this project should be evaluating an effects and preparing proposals for its scaling. Thank you for your attention.